Fables of La Fontaine. The Wishes. In the Mogul's dominions, far away, certain small spirits there are often found, who sweep the house and dig the garden ground, and guard your equipage by day and night. If you but touch their work, you spoil the whole. One of these spirits, near the Ganges then, toiled at the garden of a citizen, and with a silent skill worked heart and soul. He loved his master and his mistress too, the garden most. The Zephyrs, heaven knows, friends of the genie, as the story goes, perhaps assisted him. Whatever he'd do, he toiled unceasingly to show his zeal, loaded his host with gifts, a brimming store, boundless of pleasure. Indeed, wished no more to leave those friends for whom he thus could feel. Fickle such spirits are, yet true was he. His brother Genie, joining in a plot, the chief of their republic quickly got, from some caprice or jealous policy, to order him to go to Norway straight, to guard a hut covered with changeless snows, from India straight to Lapland. Ere he goes, the spirit with his master holds debate. They make me leave you, yet I know not why, for some forgotten fault, and I obey. But be the time a month, or but a day, I'll grant you now 3 wishes ere I fly. 3 and no more. It is not hard, I know, for man to wish. How easy, we all see. They wished abundance, and then presently abundance came. Fast from her full hands flow the golden streams. Barns brim with piles of wheat, the cellars with rich casks are almost burst. How to arrange the stores, that is the worst. What ceaseless care, what toil of hands and feet! Thieves plot against them, nobles will still borrow, the prince heaps taxes, hapless is their fate, their sorrow too much fortune, luck too great. They say, take this wealth from us. Let's wake tomorrow poor as before, happy and indigent. Poverty's better than such wealth, their cry. Treasures be gone, take wings at once and fly. Of that so foolish wish we both repent. Come, moderation, mother of repose, friend of good sense, O moderation come. She comes once more unto her former home, the door behind her joyfully they close. 2 wishes gone, and not so luckily, their lot was that of those who dream away life in vain, sighings, stealings, day by day, time better spent in honest industry. The spirit smiled at them, ere taking flight, while yet his wings were spread. The 1 wish more they asked, and this time wisdom. That's a store that never can embarrass day or night. Well, there you have it, the wishes. So what's this all about? Well, basically, he starts by telling the story of these genie, he calls them. And it's very similar to the story of the elves who come to the shoemaker at night and they make shoes. And then one day the shoemaker makes them clothes. They put the clothes on and they go. And they never come back. So instead of elves, it's a genie. So there's this little house genie who is very happy. He's different than all the other genies who are fickle. So this genie comes to this couple's home and tends the garden and keeps the house clean and, things like that. So the other genies see this guy and they're like, what's with him? Why does he like his job so much? They're jealous, so they plot against him. So the top genie says, okay, we're going to send this guy to Norway. Get him out of India. He can go to Norway. So before he goes, he comes to the couple and says, look, I got to go, but, before I leave, I'm going to give you 3 wishes. So the couple talk about it and they wish for abundance. So all of a sudden, their barn is full of wheat, their casks, I guess, full of wine or money, both probably. Everything they need, they have to excess. But now they realize they've given themselves a job, because managing all this new wealth is a real headache and these people aren't prepared for it. So, thieves are trying to steal their stuff and rich people are trying to borrow from them. The prince sees they have this money, so he gives them all kinds of taxes. So now they have to do their taxes. They have to defend themselves against thieves. They have to deal with these people trying to borrow money from them. So they've basically given themselves a new job. All this new money, all this fortune, all this good luck, it's too much for them. They don't know how to handle it. So they spend their second wish. They say, okay, wish number 2, take away all this wealth. We don't want it. It's better to be happy and poor. I'd rather be, I just don't want this. I'd rather just have moderation like before. So poof, their second wish, all their money disappears and they're back where they were at the beginning. So then, before he leaves, the genie says, okay, what's your final wish? So they say, give us wisdom. Okay, just let us be wise. And that is a quality that's not going to embarrass them. So they basically say, a lot of people dream away their lives in vain, wasting their time saying, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. Life is so unfair. These people over there are so lucky. Why can't I be like that? And La Fontaine says, your time would be better spent through honest work. You get what you deserve. Deserve means de serve, from service, from work. So generally, if you want something, you work for it. And then you get what you deserve. Now, do you keep that? That's another matter. So, these dreamers who are always wishing their lives away, wishing it would be nice, it appears, when they see these rich people or they see people who have things they don't have, it appears that their life is so much better. Things are so much easier for them. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence type thing. So what happens? You get to the other side of the fence, you realize the grass is just the same, you turn back, now the grass you left looks greener than this grass. So wisdom would be knowing this from other people's experience. Learning from somebody else's experience is the best way to learn. Some people say the best way to learn is through experience. Well, that sometimes is the best way to learn. It probably gets the knowledge deep inside of you if you learn through experience, but obviously learning not to touch the hot stove, it's better to learn that from somebody else. It's like the penguins who push their friends into the hole down in Antarctica, and the what do they call these seals, these leopard seals, comes and grabs one. So it's not, experience is probably not the best way to learn, because you'll learn this lesson and then you'll be dead in 3 seconds. So how is experience the best way to learn there? Well, that's where wisdom comes in. Wisdom is, you can learn through imagination. thinking about how things are going to be, learn from other people's experience, gain the knowledge, learn the stories, learn what they have experienced, and maybe then you don't have to experience it yourself because you can learn it much safer by listening to people who've gone before. This is what education, this is probably one of the reasons why humans have developed so well, is because we have an imagination. We can imagine, we can hear a story that somebody else has experienced something, and then we can imagine it, and we can use our minds and our reason and our logic and things like that to judge whether we should do this thing or not. And as we spoke about before, riches are generally gone in 3 generations. What does that mean? Well, the first person works really hard and builds his wealth through sacrifice and late nights and hard work and long hours. And then his kids, generation 2, they sometimes inherit the business, learn from the father's experience type thing. They haven't experienced it themselves. They've learned it through the second experience. And then the third generation, basically all that knowledge is lost. The money is wasted. These people have had wealth bestowed on them that they didn't have the responsibility for, they didn't know how to deal with. And much like these people, or like lotto winners, people who win a lotto, a lot of these people go broke. Why? Because they don't have the tools, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the experience. They've just been given all this stuff. They haven't worked for it, so they don't deserve it from service. They haven't worked from work. They've just been given all this stuff, and it takes great responsibility. People often say it's very difficult to make a fortune, but it's much harder to hang on to a fortune. And I can speak from experience. I made a lot of money. I had a lot of money. It took me 18 years to accumulate significant wealth, and then it was gone in 4 years because I guess I didn't have the ability to hang on to it. This is a totally different skill set. So if you're not ready for this, if you just wish and somebody gives it to you, or if you inherit it, very often people blow through their inheritances for the same reason. Often in stories about wishes, the lesson is be careful what you wish for, because it might just come true. Usually stories that have wishes in them, that's the lesson. The lesson is the people make foolish wishes and things don't really work out for them. Well, wishing for wealth or abundance, that's not really a foolish wish, but you need to know how to manage all that. And they're talking about moderation. Well, this is what Aristotle talks about, the golden mean. You have on one side excess, that means too much. On the other side you have regress, which means not enough. You want to find the golden mean, the center, where you have enough, but you don't have too much. And that's basically what Aristotle says is the best way to be happy. And that if you are living in moderation, dreaming your life away, wishing for other things is probably not a good idea. And as these people here who made the wishes, now they're wiser. Okay, now they can be satisfied. Now they don't have to wish their life away because they knew what it was. And it's like the old saying you might hear in a song, you don't know what you have till it's gone. You don't know what you got till it's gone. They had a pretty simple life, but they were wishing their life away, wanting abundance. And when they got abundance, it was a bit of a pain in the butt. When they lost it again, then they could finally appreciate what they had. And better to spend your days in honest work than dreaming your life away and wishing for things you didn't have. So finally, they wished for wisdom. Well, they kind of got wisdom from this experience, and through being wise, life can be better. Now, does this mean abundance is a bad thing? No. Does this mean wealth is bad, money is bad? No. It just means that if you want that kind of life, you have to learn how to manage it correctly. And it's much better to have wealth than to not have wealth. Famous quote, I believe it was Johnny Cash said something like that. But many people throughout history have said the same thing. I've been rich, I've been poor, rich is better. I believe John Wayne said something like that as well. But I'm sure if you look at that quote, many people throughout history have said that in many different ways, and it's the same idea. Personally, I can attest that this is the truth because when I had wealth, it was much better than being poor, especially at my age now. And I don't know if I have the time or the ability to try to attain any level of wealth again. So I will probably have a difficult life for the rest of my life trying to get by. It's nice to have wealth later in life, I'm sure. Anyway, that's basically the story of the wishes. If you have anything you would like to add or comment down below. Who loves you, baby? This guy. Till next time. Bye. Hang in there. If you're going through tough times, hopefully better times are going to come. And just be careful of evil, bad people who will lie to you and try to convince you of things that aren't true. Or, people who just aren't out for your best interest. Till next time, goodbye.